Hello beautiful people, I hope this video finds you well. This is Brian Silva coming to you with another exciting video. So today's video is live your best life tips. I must say that I'm pretty impressed. This past few days I was contacted by some students that I mentored. They have been applying for jobs, different careers, and going through the various stages. Some have continued forward in the hiring process. Others are dealing with, having failed one or two parts of the hiring process. But what I'm most proud of these students, not just that they're, making their careers work for them and just plugging along and trying to get closer to their future. What I'm most proud is how they respond whenever they don't pass a certain part of the career hiring process. It's never a good feeling to fail a test, and you know that some of you guys have been there. So anyway, I had to give that plug at the beginning of the video. If you're in that part of your life transitioning from you finish your college or you're starting a career, etc., just remember that it's normal to fail here and there, because it does build character, and how you respond to that failure really determines how you're going to succeed in future career achievements. So anyway, the name of the video, living your best life tips, and the first tip I'm going to start with, I'll try to make this video short so that it gets you motivated to follow some of these suggestions that I make. The first tip is your attitude, right? A few videos back I talked about discipline. But when it talks about living your best life, is your attitude. It has one of the most impacts on how you're going to live this best life, right? I always say you don't have to have a heart attack to begin living your life. You have to kind of recognize that every day you're walking one day closer to the end of your life, right? I mean, that's kind of weird in a way, because some of you guys think that's kind of morbid to talk about the end. But think about this for a second. You know someone who's had a terminal illness, and when they find out they have terminal illness, oh my God, now they got to do as much as they can do in a very short amount of time. And so to live your best life, you have to put yourself in that mindset of like, what do I want to do in the amount of time that I'm on this earth to do, right? For me, as you know from previous videos, my career goal was to become a police officer, and I achieved that. And then my next career goal was to become a college professor, and I achieved that. And life's not over. I have goals, but your attitude, and how does your attitude get adjusted? And this is your professor speaking. Your attitude gets adjusted, first of all, by how you were brought up and by the people that you hang around with, right? Your influences on a daily basis have a direct effect on how successful or unsuccessful you're going to become, right? So your attitude, you got to really adjust that. So what are some tips that I will give you to adjust your attitude? First of all, stop watching the news, right? Nothing good's going to come from the news. You're not going to change world events. All you're going to do is worrying about things that you have no control over. Number two, and the most important thing, is when you wake up early in the morning, when everybody else is asleep, turn on some motivational videos. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about nutrition. I'm just talking about motivational videos to get you thinking a different language, talking a different language, removing negative thoughts from your brain, right? All of the stuff that I'm telling you really interacts with getting the right career, the right job, the right future. If you don't make these adjustments, it's almost near impossible to live the life that's the best life that you can live, right? So if you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you turn on the news, nothing's good is going to happen from that. So the other thing is, after you have listened to the motivation, to do some meditation, right? Your brain, as you know, is being hijacked on a daily basis by social media. Every day they say 6,000 plus distractions just in the first part of your morning as you're driving to work. Everybody's trying to sell you something, get your attention. Instagram is trying to get you to enroll in this program and take this course, etc. But really, you're the one that knows exactly what you want out of your life, right? And that requires early in the morning, the meditation time, like asking yourself when no one's around, like, what is it that you want to accomplish in life, right? To live your best life, you have to know the answer. And some of you, I ask them, like, hey, what do you want to do in life? I don't know. I really don't know what I want to do. And it may take you a while. It may take a lot of times asking yourself. But you're the one that has the answer to that question built in inside of you, right? And by the way, nothing is permanent except probably death. But nothing is permanent in terms of, like, if you decide to become this career, doesn't mean that you can't change that career later, right? So you could do this career for 5-10 years and then do what I did, turn around and do a different career. So keep that in mind. One more thing that I want to, a few more things. The first one is your company, right? You've heard the saying, misery loves company. Everybody wants you to listen to their problems. Everybody wants to go to a pity party. And if you hang around those types of influencers, then you're going to be doing just that. Yes, YouTube videos are funny to watch when they're doing crazy, funny things, but measure what you're letting coming into your brain on a daily basis, right? If you listen to motivational talks, I recommend Les Brown, I recommend Zig Ziglar, I recommend Tony Robbins, Dean Grazi. All of those people on a daily basis are saying that, if you don't feed the thing that you want to do the most in life, like if you stop working hard towards the goal, then the non-goal will fill in your free time. I want you to think about this. So if you're not working on the goals, right, that you want to achieve, if you stop working on the goals, the non-goals, other stuff that's going to influence your life are going to come in and take over. It's kind of like if you don't mind the garden, the weeds will grow, right? I want you to think about that. Very careful, because in order to live the best possible life, your brain needs to be fed the right amount of information that's going to keep you on the right track towards those goals, right? So, misery loves company. Watch yourself, right? And then the ants. I've talked about this in previous videos. Automatic negative thoughts, right? So those are, you got to kill the ants early in the process, right? So you got to identify what they are. As soon as they start coming into your brain, you have to, stop them, right? If you're thinking like, no, you know what, I can't do this, then you need to replace it really quick. Well, I will do this. There's going to be denial. There's going to be turn downs. You're going to fail some tests. You're going to fail some opportunities. But the more you learn to cope with failure, the stronger you'll become. This past week, I posted a TED Talk video on 100 Days of Rejection. And this young man from, I believe, Japan, talks about how he made it a project to learn how to handle rejection. And, for example, he went to somebody's house and knocked, rang the doorbell, and somebody came to the door and he's like, hey, can I plant this plant in your backyard? and the guy's like, no. And then the guy's, then he's asking the guy, well, why, right? He wants to know, why can't he plant that plant in the backyard? And so the guy said, well, it's not that I don't like plants, it's just that I don't know if I would water it and the plant would probably die. But if you go across the street, my neighbor actually, she loves plants. She'll help you plant that plant there. And so then, he went across the street and met this lady. And sure enough, she let him plant the plant in her yard. And then the other thing was he went into one of his 100 Days of Rejection. He went into a Starbucks and asked the manager if he could be a greeter for Starbucks. And the manager kind of looked at him and he's like, well, I don't know. I don't think so. But like, what do you mean a greeter? And so the guy's like, well, like I have Walmart greeters. I want to be a Starbucks greeter. I just want to talk to people, make them happy. And so the manager's kind of looking at him. And so the guest speaker said, is it kind of weird? And then as soon as he said this, it completely neutralized what the manager was saying. And he's like, actually it is weird. It is weird that you're asking me to be a greeter because I've never been asked that before. And then, the guest speaker says, well, I think it's weird too, but I just always wanted to do it. So the manager's like, you know what, go ahead and try it. Anyway, you got to pull up this video to fully understand these examples that I'm giving you. I'm only giving you a handful of what he did to deal with rejection and to understand how to handle it. Some of you apply to one department and you get turned down and you're freaking devastated. You melt. You're like a cube of butter outside of a refrigerator on a day of 100+ degree weather, right? Listen, there's 400+ departments in California. You've applied to one and you've been turned down. And of course, there's, if you're going for the public sector, there's many more than that. So learn to watch these videos, right? So these are all like life tips to live the best possible life. I'm sure I could sit here for days and continue telling you these things, but a short video like this, it'll get you thinking about the steps that you need to follow in order to live the best possible life. I love that you listen to these things. I love that they're making a big difference. Again, as I said before, if it helps one of you, then I've done my job. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the bell so that you're notified when new videos come out. I'm going to start a new series on these videos. I've been approached by several people, which is interesting, because they're saying that, hey, I would like to hear this, this, and this. And so I'm actually going to try to get organized and start putting a series of videos. One of the questions from my viewers before I hang up, one of the questions from my viewers is, why do I video while I'm driving? And so I'm going to answer that real quick so that you guys don't lose sleep over it. I tend to do a lot of traveling, and like right now I'm coming back from one of my favorite places in the world, and I think rather than just drive and listen to music and let my brain get hijacked by other people's thoughts and work, I share my life wisdom with you because I think it's more fruitful if I share these thoughts with you, because I know it's going to help you in your career goals and your future dreams. So please continue listening to my videos. Like I said, subscribe. I'm here to help you succeed. On the comments area, write down some questions. Hey, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? And I'll definitely share those with you. If you're in the law enforcement hiring process, share your experience in the comments for other people to read. Hey, so-and-so's hiring, they love people like this, or they're trying to push for more women officers, they're trying to do this, so that others in our community really help out. There is a national crisis that the media is not talking about on peace officers, on law enforcement officers, and this shortage is going to get bigger before it gets better. So if you're if you're interested in working for a law enforcement agency, as a dispatcher, as a dog control person, as a records person, as a community service officer, whatever it is, continue to watch my videos, because I always offer tips on how you can get past these obstacles, like the writing exam, the interview oral board, the post-pellet B, etc. Okay, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for listening. I love you guys. Please stay safe, and until the next video.